I am starting now the recording, but on a different device, so you don't have to feel like I'm doing this on the Zoom. On the Zoom, being together is wonderful, to see each other is wonderful, but if I'm picking up, of course, all your sounds, so I'm going to mute you again, collectively. Wonderful, all the people who are here, again, a heartfelt welcome. So, we're stepping into this meditation, and what I want to take as a focus is the month of May in Unity is the month where we are recognizing and focusing on the power of will. We believe in the 12 powers represented by the 12 disciples, represented by the 12 chakras, all that number 12, very significant in all traditions, but in the month of May, it is the higher form of will. And so close your eyes and start beginning this entry into
I did it last week.
coming. No, I have to mute Wilma. Yeah, okay. So I am playing for you a little background music. And we are stepping into this meditation together. And the theme and the focus is divine will. And we all know, and I want to say this in a preliminary way, how we have some of us have more of that will in our personality self. It represents its manifesting as willfulness, or it manifests as impetuousness, or it manifests whatever way you're familiar with, maybe a sense of easy irritation, because the will is strong. It's strong in us, and in the personality reflects as I want things now, I want it my way, I think I'm correct. Those are all forms of the personality willfulness. And that's not the will we are talking about. We're talking about the will as a divine power, as a divine power. An alignment with that in times like these is unbelievably exceptional time, once in a lifetime, where a whole global community in various forms is asked to stay home, is asked not to go to restaurant, is asked not to travel. So this alignment with will, the higher will, is this surrendering of the personal will. The ability to more and more recognize when the personal will is acting up, is kicking up a storm, and we take a breath and align with divine will. I want to take into this meditation a first step, or probably a key to help us with this divine power. As you know, we highly respect the quality of will in our Western civilization. It is, we think, the people who have a strong focus, who have a strong will, who have a determination, whatever, pursue and succeed. But this first step is the ability to wait. So take your breath. Remember, as we are practicing now in our Zoom meditations, our alignment with sitting upright, our physical temple of the living God, our body, very important in this time where we are removed from some of our physical activities that we are allowed, activities that have been part of the norm before, physical fitness of various forms. Now we seem to, some of it seem to be removed from us. So the body needs attention, for it is part of your divine being self. It's your vehicle. So the alignment in your beginning of the meditation is an alignment of sitting upright. No slouching, no leaning. Learning to sit upright. If you need a pillow, prepare that for you. And then visualize that you are suspended with a thread at your crown chakra, at the very top of your head, like a dancer, upright. And this alignment flows down your spine to the very bottom of your pelvis, your hips, where more and more you become comfortable sitting. In the East, this cross-legged sitting is very much part of their way of life. And then the horizontal line represented by your arms and your hands, and the flow from one through the center of your being. That's the alignment of the vertical and the horizontal, right there in your body. You could just make that your teaching. And in the horizontal alignment is your willfulness, your personal will, your tendency to tell Spirit what you want, what you should want, what you need. And in the vertical alignment, in that moment where the two meet at the center of your heart, is that first step called waiting. The will does not like, the personal will does not like to wait. It's very hard. In the waiting, though, comes a beginning of a gesture of respect and humility towards Spirit, right there with you. It's not, yes, I'm telling my personal will to wait. And then I bow before the higher power. I bow before this disciple called will. I bow respectfully and with humility, acknowledging its teaching. There is a profound teaching in this power of will that we are honoring during the month of May. And I invite you now in this remaining part of the meditation, this is before you, this gesture of bowing in humility and respect for the power of will. I invite you to be in this moment. I invite this divine power of will to imbue my personal will, to guide my personal will, to discard, to help me see what is not necessary anymore in terms of willing and wanting. On the mental and on the emotional level. And the blessing of divine will that foresees, that knows what is for you in this moment and the chapter to come. You're inviting it to imbue your personal will, to help you discard what is not necessary anymore, to unclutter your perceptions of yourself and of what is and should be, clearing the lens. One more time. Feel your upright sitting. Feel your affirmation of allowing divine will to pass across your personal will. Often it has been said that the personal will gets crossed out, has to be crossed out, or is crossed out by the events of life. But this morning, in our collective, in our being together, let that divine will be your vertical line, moving right through you, across the line of your personality and your personal will. Father, Mother God, we are here in this fellowship of Unity Center of Montreal. We support one another in this time. And right now, this moment, we support each other in this very important activity of allowing divine will to flow across my personal will, my perceptions, my beliefs, my opinions. I take a deep breath. I invite you to take a deep breath. And then we want to include a few people in our prayers, and you might want to speak their names in your own way out loud. You can do that. That we want to include an extension of our chaplaincy program. As you know, we call in to Silent Unity at the beginning of our chaplaincy meeting on Thursdays at 1, and we get a prayer from them And then we will bring it to our Sunday service. We will get it next week. Bring it to our Sunday service as we pray for others. And the way in Unity we pray for others, we do not impose our will, we don't prescribe to spirit what the individual has need of. We simply become instrument and channels of divine will to flow freely. We know divine will is absolute good, absolute love. For each and every one that we hold. So say the names, see the light flow, see the will flow, see the prayers flow. You are all beacons of light in your own world. And then when we link the light that you are, we become a very large light. And when we are clear that we at Unity Center Montreal are a beacon of light, that we are participating and linking, that light amplifies. It amplifies so strong that it reaches the light and the beams of light and the center of light across the globe. And for all that, and for the teaching that is given to us in this unity path, on this unity path, we are grateful. We're grateful for one another across time and space. Amen. And amen. So stretch a little bit, come back. That's right. Come back to your body. To learn to be mindful about some of these things. For example, that when you come out of deep meditation, especially if you visualize, use your power of imagination, you want to come back into your body and you wiggle your toes and move a little tiny bit in your body and then open your eyes gently, softly, and focus on something in your room. You are a threefold being, at least a threefold being, and the body self is part. You want to be respectful. So you have re-entered. See you all back. Very good. Oh. So now, hello there.
Hello.
So I started this service with my experience of seeing this video last night, brought by my two daughters who had found it, and actually were the ones who had ordered it to have done. So we're talking 28 years of life, going backwards, seeing friends from all over the world gathering on our deck for this, in the Jewish tradition, my husband is of a Jewish tradition, there's a huppah under which the couple is being blessed, and there is the breaking of the glass and all that, but there was this circle of maybe 35 people on the deck, and we saw ourselves 28 years ago. And after about a half an hour, as I said earlier, we said, let's stop. This is getting too much. It was so much life and so many. When you think back, so I want you to think about this, to go back 28 years in your life, or to maybe not even 28 years, just to a time when you were at the height of something. Maybe it was your wedding, or maybe it was a career decision, or it was a diploma you got, or it was something that you got that you would say that was a highlight in my life, and you go back there. And maybe you have come across pictures of yourself from that time, and so yes, I'm having some people laugh, and some people, you can all be with me in this, right? This is not, and yet, today, this morning, I want to bring that into focus. That our going back is not our unity way. It just is not our unity way. We are meant to go into the moment with a focus on Spirit guiding us. Of course, in the Bible, we got these wonderful quotes. Let's see if I can find it right now, where Jesus was speaking. They were asking him, we got some rather harsh statements by Jesus, because they were asking him, so how do we follow you? How do we go with you? And he says, follow me. And then he says, though one of them says, I will follow you, Lord, but first let me say farewell to my family, or let me first put my house in order. And then Jesus says, no one who puts his hand on the plow and then looks back is fit for the kingdom of God. And then another one says, still another said, I will follow you, Lord, but first let me bid farewell to my family. And Jesus declares, no one who puts his hand on the plow and then looks back is fit for the kingdom of heaven. So that's the teaching on a high level, on this fourth dimensional level. We are not asking any of that in our own lives. We are very thoroughly grounded on this planet. But when I'm saying that the teaching of unity is one that very clearly says, do not look back. It very clearly challenges the longing and the wishing and even the regrets of the past to seep into the present, and then saying that is not your spiritual purpose of the moment. And so on top of it comes this corona teacher, this virus, and it's putting us, if you like it or not, into a classroom. Do you agree that you are in a classroom? And that means, are you willing to be a beginner, learning beginner? Not one that comes to the classroom and says, I know it all, but a beginner, a beginner's mind. The corona is unpredictable, to say the least. You can go all the way from thinking it's very little to worry us now, or it's going to change everything in terms of economics. Yesterday I was on a conference call with, as you know, I fund a piano intensive with the young people that we support in our foundation. And we get together, we offer our farmhouse for the month of August, and we bring all 7 of them together. And 3 different maestros are giving lessons staggered. One gives 10 days, another 10 days. So with the 3 of these maestros, we were on a conference call. One was in Lithuania. He's Lithuanian, so he was home. The other 2 were in Glasgow, and there was Bob and I in California, and we were saying, is it going to happen? And we all said we don't know if right now the way it is, we couldn't say it is. But maybe later we will see. So we decided to postpone the decision till July 8th, right? So anyway, the corona has us in a classroom and it's requiring a beginner's mind. Let's make that number one. Step number one. We're in a classroom, beginner's mind, meaning at least once a day, or maybe right at the beginning when you step out of bed, you say, Thy will be done, beginner's mind. Thy will be done is the higher will that we meditated in the divine power of the will. Thy will be done, beginner's mind. Going forward means we need each other's support in that. We are, when you look around this group now, we are like witness to this event on this planet. Maybe later on, 5 years down the road, you will have a memory of these people on a screen with you who were part of something that was Thy will be done, beginner's mind. I am willing, and here's the lesson for today. I am willing to forgo my expectations of what is normal, what was. Take one item in your life right now that you're very attached to, and you are waiting for that to reoccur. Can you suspend it? Can you say, Thy will be done?
No choice.
Because yes, in that desire of that normalcy, in that particular place, in that particular area of your life, is maybe a lot of tenderness and a lot of affection of what you would like again, like family relation, seeing your grandchildren, being able to travel again. But this morning, I'd like to invite you to gather the energy present here, to acknowledge that you have chosen a path that does not look back, that challenges you not to look back. And now, if we like it or not, it's very real. Everybody talks about that word normalization. You know, when Jesus died and he was crucified and he resurrected, he did not go back to normalization when he resurrected, right? He was reappearing in a new form, in a body of light. Let's say that again. When he died on the cross and he was resurrected, he was not resurrected in his old form. He didn't get normalized into the man of 33 years who was Jesus of Nazareth, the carpenter's son, right? You're with me? He did not normalize. He resurrected into a new form. That's the path we're following. And this idea that normalization is something to idealize is not even that ideal. It's the consciousness of the old. The consciousness that brought you all the challenges that you are dealing with. We say that you cannot fix the issues on the level of the consciousness that brought you the problems. So in a way, this is, to me, an optimum time, a remarkable time. And if only very small nuggets of what you are experiencing right now stay with you as you go into the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. They are precious nuggets. So I would like to close with the invitation, the very concrete invitation to step into that humble bow before the power of divine will, and to step into the moment when you get up, when you go through the day. Thy will be done. Not a miserable, painful, I can't have what I want, thy will be done. No! An alignment. But it only aligns to the mentality of the beginner in you. The part of you that is utterly curious and willing to learn fresh. Somebody was trying to define where unity was regarding the mind versus the I am versus the ego. And you know, the mind is a collection of what you have accumulated in knowledge and experience and practice. That's a sort of a bag of stuff. It's got quotes, it's got beliefs, it's got opinions. That's all part of the mind. And when we say beginner's mind, it's saying, pooh, can I step out of that? And the beginner's mind is not a new concept to us, unity. That is also a Buddhist concept.
Zen.
And Zen. So all I'm saying is the gesture of the respect toward your divine will available to you to guide and to infuse you in this day with your offering of I'm willing to let divine will cross my personal will, and to accept again that I'm on a path called unity that really does not look backwards. It is grounded teaching in the moment with a view, a focus on allowing the vertical to cross my horizontal line in a physical, an emotional, and a mental way. So I bless you, and we are making a couple of announcements. I have Wilma with us, so that helps me. The announcements, of course, of the upcoming activities is our daily noon Zoom, starting Tuesday, not tomorrow, Tuesday. Then we have Tuesday night at 6:30, the Tole study group. And then on Wednesday at 5, we have the Quest for Truth with Wilma. So that is a particular treat for the next 4 weeks, maybe even a little longer. And so remember that, put it on your calendar, build it into your day as guardrails of your days, to remember to allow the alignment and to step into beginner's mind. So the invitation for our love offering, I would like you, as we do now, we don't have maybe our love offering in your hands, but I would like you to take that which is the treasure of your day, which is the abundance of your day, which is what is there in terms of your financial possibility, and we bless it with divine love. And we have this new affirmation for prosperity that was given to us by one of our members, that we're shifting our consciousness of lack, which certainly we all can have at moments, to a consciousness of abundance. I know as I give, I open the channels to receive. And that is across the board in all areas of my life. Not just in a financial, not just in my service to others, not just in my willingness to be of service. As I give, so I receive. And this is our belief and our prayers. We will close today with our Namaste song, and I invite you to make this our closing blessing to one another as we sing it twice through. I bless you all. I love you all for being with me, and I can really, I must say, I can really feel you, and this is a training in being as a consciousness connected across time and space. So here comes Namaste.
Namaste, namaste. My heart sings namaste. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you.
Namaste,
Namaste,
namaste, namaste, namaste. My heart sings namaste.
the Christ in me beholds
The Christ in you. Namaste, 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 namaste. Shall we close with our prayer for protection? We all speak it out loud. I know there's a time lag, but it doesn't matter. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Have a beautiful Sunday full of light. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye.
See you next week.
Oh.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thanks a lot.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.